Wow. So while he's ooh, we'll let the credits roll here. That was pretty cool. I liked it at the very beginning with all the acoustic stuff. There was just this one like dissonance to it that
Yeah.
it kept having me like, huh, what? And then when
It
they kicked in, it was more the harmonies were definitely more standard and it sounded good, especially with all the effects that they had. Hello and welcome to the Sound Live. My name is Matthew and I am your host. I have an incredible show lined up for y'all today. Eve is going to be here in just a minute, but right now, let me introduce my first two special guests. Starting off with Jennifer Valaket. How you doing today, Jennifer?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great. Jennifer's a fellow music teacher like me, and Jennifer is a saxophonist and flutist. So I'm excited about your pick today. And you've been doing all kinds of new projects, haven't you?
Yeah, I just did a collab with Leap yesterday. That was fun. I did Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah, I didn't understand your thumbnail. Why it had like Terminator or something on it.
Oh, it's Batman because that song is actually from they used that in the movie.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Batman.
Okay, I thought it looked more like Terminator to me. I
Oh,
couldn't
sorry.
Right on. Cool. And also with me today, I have Kyle Walz.
Hey,
How
hey.
you doing, Kyle? Kyle's a
Dude,
singer-songwriter and a really cool guy. What's new in your world?
so I teach, and today was the first day with students. So it went really well. I've been at this 26-ish years, something like that. So it's been a couple minutes, as the kids say.
Eve, what you got us reacting to?
This is a band enslaved, and yeah, I've been putting in metal picks here and there. This is a band I've been into for years. They have quite a history, I'd say. They started out as one of the OG second wave Norwegian bands, and actually, I would say within that that little scene in Norway during the 1990s, they were actually doing a much more experimental things and trying to differ themselves from the rest of the bands by incorporating unconventional song structures, unconventional song lengths, and even lyrical themes.
Cool.
But they, I mean, yeah, they were definitely a lot more, I guess, whatever, true Cavol, whatever, in their early days, a little harder. I mean, they kind of evolved into like this psychedelic progressive black metal uh, unit over the years, and I feel like this track is very representative of like a turning point in their musical career. And it was also an album that for me that I think when I was first getting into the band really hit the nail on the head and checked all the boxes in terms of having the progressiveness, but also having the black metal sound and the aggressiveness and the lyrical themes.
So without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Enslaved, The Crossing Cinematic Tour 2020 official live video. Here we go!
A love was given in ancient times, embraced by your God, not of my will. The wisdom is all of steel. Chains come forth. Cross the area that's not meant to believe. Cross wherever find me. Feel the cool inside of me.
Wow. So while he's we'll let ooh, we'll let the credits roll here. That was pretty cool. I liked it at the very beginning with all the acoustic stuff. There was just this one like dissonance to it that
Yeah.
it kept having me like, huh, what? And then when they kicked in, it was more, the harmonies were definitely more standard and it sounded good, especially with all the effects that they had. I wasn't a huge fan of the vocals, but I really enjoyed the guitar work, especially, and the keyboards a little bit. If there were keyboards, it's whatever the synth sounded. It sounded good.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was massive effects. They all had their little floorboards and stuff that they were doing, which is cool. It was pretty tight for, a live recording. It sounded pretty good. I liked some of the proggy parts. Like there was a couple of parts where, it wasn't, straight 4/4. There was some different parts in there that were pretty neat, that I liked. I just overall, it was neat how they had the acoustic in it for about the first half. There was still, you could, every once in a while, you hear the acoustic would, ring, a little strum in there, like, wow, that's neat. And then you saw them eventually switch over to an electric. and it was nice that there was some nice big heavy parts, but there was some mellow parts and some melodic variation, and some just it was a nice journey. I liked it. It was cool.
I mean, as far as Opeth songs with Drunk Slash, this one was pretty freaking awesome.
Opeth songs with Drunk Slash.
Yeah, I was thinking back. The way this started is always how I would envision every Opeth song until Eve has shown me otherwise. You have that long intro, and long isn't a put down. It's just the description. It took a good part of the time of the song. The one guitar solo part where he's bending on the Les Paul, I was like, is it supposed to be off? Because that might make sense, or is he was it able to hear, because in a live setting, sometimes, that can happen.
It sounded like it was supposed to be, was written to be dissonant like that to me.
That's the way it was on the recording, actually. Okay. I mean, it's pretty faithful to the recording, down to they had the acoustic session guitarist that played on the record, or he played on that song, and like they said in the credits, A Darker Place on the same record.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured, since every bend was just a little bit off, I was like, okay, either it's supposed to be like that, or there's a monitoring problem for just that part. That the way that they changed styles throughout was really cool, and that seems to be very typical of contemporary metal. I'm guessing this is the 2020 live album. That seems to be the more I'm hearing different things, how metal is competing with pop in a way. Because if you think about how pop songs and EDM, you have that structure of you do this for a little bit, you do that for a little bit, and you have these different blocks that you configure when you construct your songs. And metal, seems to has developed its own kind of toolkit for, here's some different elements of, within the metal canon of music that you use to put your song together. I like the more, I guess, traditional Norwegian black metal part of the song. I thought that was cool. In particular, how his voice, and I'm thinking about how you would, how the vocal microphone would be live, because that would be a nightmare for a sound person to change that. This one, or, and you have to change these settings, because you'd imagine it's just going through a board instead of you have a programmed channel or something, and, maybe you're rerouting it. But you
can always have your vocals going through a floorboard, like a foot pedal.
You could.
And then you could just switch. You can just switch your effects with your for yourself. A lot of
Matthew,
people do that.
Is that black metal though? I mean, I know.
I mean, like the thing that about black metal that I like is, it can have progressive and psychedelic elements, and there's a lot of bands that have over the years incorporated more of that. Those non-traditional elements, but it still retains that rawness. And I feel like sometimes for me, I mean, as much as I like prog, it gets a little too on the too polished side for me. I guess it depends on my mood, but something I don't know, what we just listened to, Arion. I mean, I like it, but yeah, I don't want to listen to something that's polished all the time, I suppose. Right. I like a little bit of grit and dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. I liked it. I liked it too. It wasn't my favorite vocals, but I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the flow of it. I feel like there was a lot of those dissonances that were thrown in there on purpose, just to make it so that it wasn't I don't know, to give it something to make it a little bit more unique in those instrumental parts. And it had you kind of scratching, huh? A little bit, just in spots. What? A little bit, okay. You know, it was a little bit weird in spots, right? But overall, so you were going to say something about the lyrics. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the lyrics now, real quick?
I was also gonna say what you were just talking about is very characteristic of the band to kind of use these dissonant melodies with these more conventional melodies in terms of like harmonizing the guitars or even harmonizing the vocals. You see it throughout their own. They have a pretty extensive discography that's pretty different album to album. But the lyrics, let me just read the last few.
Okay.
So, break the chains, come forth to see, cross the abyss, not meant to be, cross the river, find the key, kill the queen of anxiety. And that for me is a very transformational set of lyrics. Like somebody going on, I think one of you two said a journey, and then being transformed in the process.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what my whole rock opera is about. You know, the journey and transformation. Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, any more comments for Eve before we go on and continue with the show?
That was cool. I really like that one. I always like Eve's picks. It reminds me of so many different things I've enjoyed, in music over the years, because it seems like I'm always changing things I like from time to time,
Right on. Well,
Yep.
I want to make sure everybody subscribe to Evelyn Holland, Jennifer's music page, and Kyle Walz. I really appreciate my special guests. You guys are awesome. I really hope that you guys continue with your creative pursuits, and I'll see you guys here next week. Make sure you guys all thumb up this video, share out the stream, and subscribe to everybody here, including Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. And I just wanted to give you all an update here.
Please do.
The studio definitely still needs your help a lot, but I'm starting to receive a little bit of help from you all. So thank you.
Cool.
Keep it coming. MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. I am having a crazy special for online music lessons. Back to school
Crazy!
special. No, seriously. $20 for a half-hour lesson that you get to record and keep on your computer. That's crazy cheap, dude. Look anywhere else at the prices. They're way higher than that. $20 for a half-hour music lesson that you record. I do voice. I do all forms of guitar. I do all forms of saxophone. I do all forms of clarinet. Okay? I do piano. All right? I do all forms of ukulele. So whatever y'all want to do, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. And of course, I need you to help me, everybody on Patreon. If you're interested in these weekly bonus videos we've got coming out, you got to go to patreon.com/MatthewsMusicLessonStudio and donate at least $1 per month. That's a quarter per video. Come on, that's so cheap. LiberapayPay.com/MatthewsMusic. You can support the studio. It's a non-profit. That means they don't take nothing. So I get the highest percentage. That's a weekly donation. Please sign up at LiberapayPay.com/MatthewsMusic to help the studio stay online and grow. Or you can buy me a coffee right now at BuyMeACoffee.com/MatthewsMusic. I need a coffee for tomorrow, for cold brew, for in the morning, for when we do the sound again. You could be the one that helps me get that coffee.
Help him.
Yes. And of course, you can also tip me on Venmo at Matthews Music. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time on The Sound Live.